This video is not my conventional, traditional F1 video. This might seem a bit self-indulgent. If you're not interested in like YouTube and channel growth and how that kind of ties in with F1, then this ain't the video for you. Feel free to click off. You can watch my next one. I feel that it would be wrong of me not to make a video like really covering what has been this explosion in like this mad growth. There's so many videos on YouTube about how to grow a channel and all that stuff, and it's something I've been, chomping at the bit trying to do for a long time now. And I feel like there's lessons I've learned in this last month, things I didn't really appreciate beforehand, how important they've been, and just general takeaways. Today, I'm going to talk about how my channel went from 100 to 10,000 subscribers in less than a month. I mean, literally, it's 11:32 on the 2nd of February as I film this. On the 4th of January, which is as far back as my social blade goes, I was on 122 subscribers. So actually, I'm on over 11,000 now. So it's been more than that. It's been insane. It's been crazy. And that's not just to toot my own horn, trust me. It's just to show how you can blow up out of nowhere, which is seemingly what happened to me. But I'm going to rewind, take you back to where this channel started, and give the full story, I think. So the first video uploaded onto this channel was on the 7th of August 2019. It was reacting to the whole Gasly being replaced by Albon at Red Bull, and I released 7 videos. That was my kind of channel in just over a month. So between the 12th of August and the 16th of September, I released 7 videos and got all in terms of interaction. Diddly squat. Literally in that month and 4 days, I had 230 views in total over 7 videos. So that's averaging like 33 views a video, which is not great. And by the time I put this 7th video out, I felt demoralized, to be honest. I felt very demoralized. I thought I'd put some good quality content out, which will be proven to be the point in a bit. And I wasn't getting any views. I wasn't getting any interaction. I wasn't getting anything. And I already had this channel, my personal channel, the one that I've been uploading on since I very first started on YouTube over 5 years ago. That has 400, or at the time it had about 450 subscribers. And I was like, you know what, I've given this a go, this F1 thing. I know only a month's not very long, but I was just like, look, I've got this channel with a few, a bit of a following behind it. Maybe that's going to be the way. I can't create anything unless I'm going to focus my efforts. And I decided then that I was going to focus on my other channel. Like, I genuinely was never going to post on Tommo F1 ever again. That was not the plan. So from the 16th of December, hi guys, Edit and Tommo here. I've already made 3 cock-ups in this video. I do apologise. I, of course, meant September the 16th. Up until the 19th of December, I didn't upload anything. It was those same 7 videos. And in total, over that time, remember I had 230 views in total. Before then, I'd gone up to 483 over months. So again, nothing, no interaction, no anything. But obviously there's a reason I mentioned December the 19th. There's a reason that is a specifically relevant and poignant date, because that is when things began to change. So from the 19th of December to the 30th of December, I gained 2.3 thousand views. Now, when you compare that to the before, I'd got 483 in the space of about 5 months, 4 or 5 months. To get 2.3 thousand views in 9 days on a channel that had been dead and I hadn't done anything with for months at that time was obviously out the blue. I didn't notice this growth. I didn't notice this because I hadn't logged into the account. I hadn't checked the email that I'd set up onto the account. I literally just checked it on a whim, like just because it was on my Gmail list, and I checked my emails and I saw a few subscribe notifications, and I was like, so obviously I looked into it. And all the views had come from one video. And it was my Rich Energy versus Red Bull video. So this was a video I made back in August, whenever it was. And I managed to get hold of some Rich Energy. This was at the time when Rich Energy and Haas was all blowing up and it was becoming really odd, and they'd kind of pulled out of Haas and Haas had terminated the contract. There was all this drama going around Haas, so I thought, oh, let's get hold of some of the products, let's do a comparison. I haven't seen that on YouTube. They keep comparing themselves to Red Bull, so let's see if the proof is in the pudding, or energy drink should I say. Let's give it a go, let's try it, let's see how it compares. And I actually preferred it. Spoiler alert, link down below and above if you want to watch it. The video that catapulted this channel, absolutely, for sure. The way I kind of understood YouTube and the stuff that I'd created historically was very much timely content. So it was a lot of football content. You know, there's just been, you know, West Ham have just lost again, so I'm reacting, doing a video. It wasn't evergreen content that would last forever. It was very, you had to get it up quick, high views, quick down shoot, and then you move on to the next. And with this video, because it was a more compelling subject matter that would have more legs in it, it did blow up. So what do I put this sudden growth in views down to? Well, I don't think it's a coincidence that on the 19th of December, so the exact day I say that the views went up, Josh Ravel, who many of you mentioned in the comments, having a very similar blow up to me, he's on over 40,000 subscribers now, which is insane. His content is amazing. He thoroughly deserves every view he gets. Link below if you haven't seen his channel. He posted his 1,000 subscriber special on that day, and it featured Rich Energy. Now, to me, that's too much of a coincidence. That's too much of a coincidence that the day he posted that video, my video featuring Rich Energy blows up. So for me, I literally owe this to Josh, because if he hadn't posted that video at that time, my video wouldn't have blew up in the way it had, and I wouldn't be sat here. I wouldn't be making videos. Like, it wouldn't be happening because I didn't have the motivation. I was creating great content. Like, I was creating good content clearly because people have been watching it. And not only that video, of those first 7 videos, a lot of them were very timely, but the 2 that weren't, the Red Bull one, the Rich Energy one, and the Rocket video that I made, are both on over 20,000 views now. They've both grown massively, and they were posted in the very infancy of this channel, where I had 15 subscribers. The stars very much aligned, but obviously I saw the growth and I saw this, and I knew this was an opportunity. I knew I was getting handed a lifeline by YouTube. Like, we will push your stuff. Like, there was obviously some kind of acknowledgement from YouTube. So on the 30th of December, day before New Year's, I posted my F1 2020 predictions. And again, I kind of accidentally hit a jackpot here. I posted my predictions quite a bit before a lot of the other big F1 YouTubers. Zero knowledge of that. I just thought, right, what's a really good kind of evergreen bit of content that won't last forever but will last 4 months and should do well, because prediction videos tend to do quite well. I know from the football side of things how well prediction videos can do. So I posted that on the 30th, and then obviously following up with my 2021 driver prediction video, which is so close to it hitting 100,000 views, which is nuts, man. That's crazy. It's at about 98,000 as I record this, so the chances of it hitting 100k are pretty likely. Mad. And yeah, from there it just snowballed. You know, I went from having a channel that had 480 views in like 5 months to, on the 22nd of Jan, I had over 40,000 views in one day. One day. The reason I emphasize how ridiculous this is, again, I've mentioned this so many times, but I've been uploading for so long now and had I've had nothing. I've had no validation from YouTube that I've actually been making good content. You know, people have commented, have been very kind and said this is great content and all that, because I'm confident in my ability to make good stuff. But it just hasn't been pushed, and to now get that is insane. So that's my stories to now. What advice would I give any aspiring F1 YouTubers, any aspiring YouTubers in general who want to emulate this growth? Because this is mad growth, like not just within F1, this is mad growth when you compare it to any YouTube channel. Unfortunately with YouTube, you don't get all the answers. It doesn't tell you exactly, you know, it tells you where my views have come from in terms of people. It's been people searching, that's where the majority, and it's just my keywords, or YouTube have just pushed my video up the list when you search F1 predictions, my video would be quite far up there, I guess. But otherwise, you're kind of going blank, you're kind of going in the dark, you're kind of going in a bit blind, but I do feel there's a few takeaways. So I'm going to list them out now. A lot of these are going to be what you've heard everywhere else, but I feel that there are a few that I can really draw attention to. Look, ultimately, you've got to find a niche. If you're creating content on YouTube, you've got to find a solid niche, a niche that has an audience, and try and do something different. The thing that what I noticed about F1 YouTube channels, there's loads of fantastic creators out there. A lot of them, it's very prescriptive. So for example, when the Racing Point being bought out by Aston Martin, when that news dropped, all of the F1 YouTubers that I follow released a video on that same day, covering the same subject matter. Look, they're all compelling, of course they are. They're like, if you like a certain person, you're going to watch theirs. But obviously, I subscribe to as many of them as I can because I like to see what everyone else is doing, and I genuinely enjoy the content. But also, it's important for me to see what everyone else is doing so that it just is. Of course, it is. I'm a creator. It's like in any business, like being aware of what everyone else in the industry is doing is important. For me, I was very much like, well, I don't really want to do that kind of content anyway because it's not me. Like, it never has been. I've never made super prescriptive, super duper, like crazy well-researched content. Much more like personality, just chatting, just being myself. And also putting my face on camera, which again, not a lot of others do. You know, Josh Ravel, for example, does an amazing job. His face isn't on camera, but he conveys so much personality. And that's hard to do when you're not putting your face on camera. So he deserves extra plaudits for that. But for me, I'm very happy, content being on camera, and it allows me to communicate much better, much more earnestly and honestly. So for me, that was my kind of USP defined really there. I'm true to what I want to create and what feels right for me, and all the other guys are true to what they do as well. So, you know, everyone's got their own place, but I just do really feel I've kind of found that really defined niche that I'm able to kind of run with. Then, of course, there's the compelling content, like the fundamental. If you haven't got compelling content, there's no foundation there to grow. Like, people need to enjoy what they're watching. People need to be engaged. Obviously, Rich Energy was a very intriguing product because no one could get their hands on it. I managed to get some on Amazon. It's not that difficult. It costs a fortune for what it is, but I got some. I knew it would be a compelling video. But again, that video sat dormant for months. No one watched it. Yet, as soon as YouTube puts eyes on it, everyone's really enjoying it and watching the video. And the production content wasn't actually that great. I mean, if I'd made that video again now, I'd put a lot more effort into it, of course, because I know people are watching. But ultimately, like, people have still enjoyed it, and creating compelling content has to be your number one focus because you won't get anywhere without that. Next, I'm going to talk about my branding. So you've noticed I've got the pink and the grey that I run with throughout. There was not really much thought process behind them two colours. I just, when I first started the channel and I created my logo, and I was playing around with different colours, and I was like, okay, that's a bit different. It will stand out. You know, Chain Bear's got his yellow. A lot of successful channels have branding that is very indicative and relatable to them. You know, PewDiePie doesn't. It's not a necessity necessarily, but I feel it will make, you know, I feel like my videos will stand out on your newsfeed straight away. I know that's a Tommo F1 video. Like, that stands out against everything else because it's not really a flat colour that you see very often, that kind of pink that I chose. So I try and be consistent as I can, again with my overlays and all that kind of stuff in the video. I just try and keep it nice and consistent. So, you know, my personality is coming through, but there's also a degree of consistency there so you can recognise what you're seeing. Try and make your videos 10 minutes plus. This video is going to be way more than 10 minutes. Anything over 10 minutes, YouTube prefers because they can put more ads on it, because you can put more ads on it, you can choose to, and ultimately that's where YouTube makes their money. It's a no-brainer. If you can stretch it over 10 minutes, do it. If it's a video where you can cover the point in 4 or 5 minutes, don't bother. It's really not worth it. But when it's something much deeper and more compelling, make sure it gets over the 10-minute mark. Thumbnails and titles. Again, this ties into the branding side of things, but also making thumbnails and titles that are very compelling. You know, clickbait, old Lewis Hamilton for my F1 2030 video, Carlos Sainz in a Ferrari kit, Ricciardo in a McLaren, Bottas in a Renault for my 2021 driver predictions in the kind of Philip DeFranco style. Like, you take influence from what works, right? If you're not delivering on your click, then that's worthless, because no one's going to watch it if ultimately straight away as soon as you watch it you say, oh, actually this isn't what I wanted. You know, my title, 100 to 1,000, 10,000 subscribers, this is literally what I'm talking about, but also it is a very clickable title, and I'll probably add some green arrows and all big me shocked face maybe into the thumbnail. I don't know. You have to do what you have to do to get your videos noticed, and ultimately getting noticed is one thing, but having the content to keep people engaged and entertained is another, and that's where the subscriber growth. Second last point, and this for me is one that is not emphasized enough. So I literally, again, it's 7 minutes to midnight now. I've spent 4 hours today. 4 hours? Yeah, I'd say 4 hours on and off today. Once, like I did like a 2.5 hour sitting just before I started filming this, responding to every single comment. If you've got less than 10,000 subscribers and you're not responding to every single comment, you are missing a trick, trust me. Not only is it amazing to engage with the people who are actually watching and give like thoughtful, genuine replies to everyone, because ultimately the whole reason I started doing that was not because I watched some, oh, you need to respond to everyone to get, you know, to grow on YouTube. It's because I've uploaded content for so long, like I've said before, for so long, and got nothing. So for me to even get, you know, 10 comments, it is incredible, let alone hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And I'm so grateful, and I'm so genuinely grateful that I will take the time, because you've taken the time to watch my video. The least I can do is take the time to respond and reply to yours. But another great benefit of that, not only are you doing that, and it's really nice to hear lots of positive and good comments, and there's the odd negative one, but most of the time it's just someone disagreeing with you, and that's fine. Of course, we live in a free world. People are going to disagree with you, that's okay. But ultimately, it's going to help your channel, because the more engagement you get on a video, the more YouTube is likely to push it. And if you get 100 comments and you reply to every single one, you take that comment number from 100 to 200. So you've doubled your engagement. So it is going to be so helpful to your growth, and I really do put that down to why my subscriber numbers are big every single day. Like I'm getting 500-600 new subscribers every day, and if that rate continues, I'm no way like resting on my laurels and saying like, oh, that's definitely going to happen. Of course not. I'm going to keep pushing and making more content, making better content, because I know I can. Like I know there's so much more I can do, and I just don't have the time because I work and all that kind of stuff. And the sooner I can start doing this full time, the better. And I'm not that far off. But yes, respond to every single comment. You have no excuse. You have YouTube Studio on your phone. Install it. Reply to every comment. Love every comment. Heart every comment. Respond. Give a thoughtful response to every single comment. If you're on less than 10,000 subscribers, you need to be doing that. And then the last point isn't really a point. It's just you just got to get lucky. Like really, honestly, the thing is that the more you do all of these things, and the more you engage with the people, and the more you produce good quality content that people actually engage with and want to see, and great thumbnails and all the points mentioned before, the more you do all of that stuff, the more likely you'll get lucky. The more tickets you buy for the lottery, the better the chance you win, right? You've got to get lucky. Some people on YouTube create amazing content and don't get noticed for ages, and that sucks. And some people, like I have with this channel, just out of nowhere, boom, sweet, job done. Some people, one shout out can launch a career. That's just the way the platform works. And ultimately, it's all well and good getting a shout out, and it's all well and good getting lucky. But if you're not producing great quality content that people will engage with, then it's not going to become something sustainable. It's not going to become a long-term thing, is it? So that was how I went from 100 to 10,000 subscribers in a month. I hope you've enjoyed this slightly different kind of video, not too much F1 content in this one. I think it's interesting. I find YouTube fascinating. I've been a big fan of YouTube for a long time. And if you're watching me on YouTube, you must be a fan of YouTube as well. So I hope you've appreciated and enjoyed this. If you're watching this and you're not a F1 person, my name's Tommo. I create YouTube videos around Formula 1 predominantly, but occasionally I'll talk about channel growth and all that kind of stuff, but I'll always kind of try and keep it tied in and relevant to the content that I'm making. Hope you can subscribe, drop a like on this video if you've enjoyed it as well. My name's been Tommo. Thanks again. Have a good one. Ta-da.